There is a kind of strength that does not shout and does not try to impress anyone. It is the kind of strength that makes a person look unshakable, even when life becomes chaotic around them. When you see someone like this, you notice it immediately. They do not hesitate. They do not bargain with themselves. They do not break when pressure rises. They stand calm and steady the way a mountain stands against strong winds. This strength is not a gift of luck or genetics. It is built slowly, painfully, deliberately, through discomfort and repetition, and the removal of everything unnecessary. Most people never reach this level because they want comfort more than capability. They want the reward but not the pain. They want the victory but not the war. 400 years ago, there was a man in Japan who reached this level in the purest form. His name was Miyamoto Musashi. He fought more than 60 duels, starting from the age of 13, and never lost. He was not the strongest or the fastest, but he developed something far more powerful. A mind that did not hesitate, and a body that did not stop. Before he died, he wrote a book called The Book of Five Rings, and inside it he did not write poetry or philosophy. He wrote instructions for building an unbreakable human being. He taught that true strength is not created by adding more things into your life, but by removing the things that make you weak. This is where the story of a modern man begins. His name was Hiroshi, a 33-year-old Japanese man living a life that looked normal from the outside but felt painfully empty on the inside. Hiroshi worked as a systems engineer, spending day after day in front of screens, typing lines of code that made sense to everyone except him. He had a wife who cared for him deeply and a little son who adored him. But despite having what many would call a good life, Hiroshi felt like a passenger in his own existence. Each morning he told himself he would change things. He told himself he would train. He told himself he would wake up early and take control. But the same thing happened every time. Strong intention, weak execution. He bought a gym membership and stopped going after 2 weeks. He downloaded meditation apps and uninstalled them after 3 days. He told himself he would stop eating junk food and then ate a full bag of snacks before bed. He set alarms to wake up early. But when they rang, he pressed snooze again and again until shame swallowed his motivation. And when life demanded courage from him, he avoided it. At work, he avoided difficult conversations. At home, he kept silent when he needed to speak. He let small problems grow into large ones because he never confronted them. He drifted through life without direction, trapped in a cycle he hated but could not break. Everything changed during a weekly meeting at the office. Hiroshi was presenting a simple update when suddenly his heart pounded violently. His breath shortened. His hands trembled. His vision faded at the edges. It felt like the world was closing in around him. He excused himself and rushed out, gripping the hallway wall, trying to steady himself. He thought he might collapse. The doctor later told him something that stayed with him forever. His mind was reacting to everyday pressure as if it were a life or death threat because he had never trained his nervous system. The doctor said he needed to train his mind the same way an athlete trains muscles. That night, long after his wife and son were asleep, Hiroshi sat alone, staring at the ceiling, feeling the weight of his life pressing on him. He searched for a way to rebuild himself, not with shallow motivation, but with something real. That search led him to Miyamoto Musashi. He read that Musashi's book was not a philosophy text, but a battlefield manual that could be applied to life. And Hiroshi made a quiet decision. He would follow Musashi's teachings exactly as written. No shortcuts, no excuses, no negotiation with himself. He would rebuild himself from the inside out. The first principle he learned was simple but powerful. Musashi taught to have no preferences. If you can only train when conditions are perfect, you are weak. If you need equipment to work out, you are weak. If you need silence to focus, you are weak. Strength must work anywhere, anytime, under any condition. Musashi trained with wooden swords, metal swords, no swords, in rain, heat, cold, day and night. He trained because life does not wait for perfect conditions. Hiroshi saw himself clearly in this teaching. His discipline existed only when conditions were easy. So he removed everything unnecessary and started with something simple. 20 push-ups every day. No schedule, no equipment, no excuses. Any place, any condition, never zero. That became his rule. The first week felt strange but doable. The second week brought stiffness and resistance. The third week he traveled for work and forced himself to do push-ups in a hotel bathroom at midnight. The fourth week he caught a cold, but he still did what he could. 10 push-ups when he felt weak, 5 when he felt exhausted, but never zero. That rule changed him more than he expected. By day 40, his body felt stronger, but his mind was still noisy. He still worried about finances, his job, his future, and whether he was failing his family. That was when he encountered Musashi's most important mental teaching, the still mind. Musashi taught that in the moment of battle, the mind should be as calm as when drinking tea. No panic, no excitement, only presence. The strongest mind is the one that observes emotions without reacting to them. Hiroshi began practicing this in his daily life. When stress rose in traffic, he breathed deeply and observed his emotions without acting on them. When tension rose at work, he noticed his heartbeat but did not let it control his words. When arguments started at home, he watched his thoughts without letting them take over. It was difficult, like trying to stop a river with bare hands. But slowly he changed. One day, a senior colleague raised his voice at him unjustly. Normally, Hiroshi would freeze or apologize unnecessarily. But that day, he felt the fear rise like a wave inside him. And instead of drowning, he simply acknowledged it and continued speaking calmly. His voice was steady. His hands did not shake. He saw the surprise in everyone's eyes. That was the moment he realized he had touched the still mind. But Musashi also warned that a calm mind without a strong body is unstable. So Hiroshi decided to push himself further. He began a challenge that scared him. 100 push-ups every day for 30 days. The first day nearly broke him. The 5th day made his arms ache constantly. The 10th day made him doubt everything. His wife worried he was pushing too hard. But Hiroshi kept going. On day 15, he finished in 20 minutes. On day 30, he completed 100 push-ups in 12 minutes without stopping. His body changed, but his mind changed more. He no longer asked himself if he could do something difficult. He simply did it. Then he trained another principle: permanent awareness. After finishing his push-ups, he would stand still for 30 seconds instead of collapsing. After completing challenging tasks at work, he would sit quietly for a moment instead of grabbing his phone. He began living with awareness rather than rushing from one distraction to the next. This awareness sharpened him in ways he never expected. After 90 days, people began noticing the transformation. His colleagues said he seemed more grounded. His wife said he felt calmer, more confident, more present. But the real test came suddenly. One morning, his company announced budget cuts. Hiroshi was called into a meeting and told he would lose his job. The old Hiroshi would have panicked, spiraled into fear, and imagined disaster. But this time, he felt the shock rise and pass through him like wind moving through a forest. He asked the timeline. He thanked them. He walked out calmly. While others cried, broke down, or froze, Hiroshi remained centered, not because he did not care, but because he was prepared. In the following weeks, he updated his resume, contacted old friends, and attended interviews with a steady presence. By day 23, he received multiple offers and accepted a position with higher pay and better growth. Meanwhile, many coworkers who panicked remained unemployed for months. He applied Musashi's teaching of not aiming to win, but aiming not to lose. In his new job, he avoided unnecessary mistakes. He delivered what he promised. He stayed consistent. He built trust quietly. 3 months later, he was promoted because reliability is a rare and powerful strength. But one fear still lived inside him. He feared losing everything he built if he missed a day of training. That fear led him to Musashi's final teaching: letting go of the self. True strength comes when you stop attaching your identity to outcomes. You continue training because training is who you are. You stop counting days. You stop chasing applause. You let go of validation. Hiroshi stopped tracking his progress. He stopped seeking praise. He trained because it was his nature now. And when he did that, something profound shifted. He no longer needed discipline. He became discipline. He no longer tried to be strong. He became strong. People around him sensed this and felt uncomfortable. Friends stopped making excuses around him. Colleagues avoided complaining. Even family members said he seemed too serious. But it was not seriousness. It was clarity. 1 year after he began this journey, Hiroshi was no longer the man he used to be. Not because he added new habits, but because he removed everything unnecessary. He removed fear. He removed hesitation. He removed weakness. He became a living example of Musashi's message that true mastery comes when the sword, the mind, and the self become one. Musashi died with no wealth, no fame, and no followers, but with complete mastery of himself. His final words were, "I regret nothing." And the question his story leaves behind is simple. You have the same amount of time, the same human body, the same potential. The difference is not ability. It is willingness. Willingness to eliminate what weakens you. Willingness to train until training becomes identity. Willingness to abandon comfort and choose capability. If you feel a spark inside you after hearing Hiroshi's journey, then you already know what your next step is. The only question left is which weakness you will eliminate first.